Welcome to the Chow Hall with Tiny J and Sergeant Show. And we're here to fill your hole
with delicious food.
Alright guys, so you probably just got done watching us make simple mashed potatoes. Sergeant Show showed us how to make a simple mashed potato.
Delicious.
Yeah, it was fantastic. But he looked at me and he gave me that challenging look and he said, maybe we can make something else with this. And so I went into a hot, frantic mode, went straight into his cabinets and in his fridge, and I said, I know what we can make. Guys, I grew up on this exact dish. What I'm calling it today is Tiny J's Country Casserole. So we're gonna take Sergeant Show's delicious mashed potatoes, all right?
Oh, you're just saying that.
I found some ground beef, all right? He had some onion. He had some American sliced cheese. You know how I like my sliced cheese.
I know how you love it, so yes.
He had some minced garlic, some corn, and some cream of mushroom soup. And we're gonna make what is a take on a country type shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fantastic.
Challenge accepted by Tiny J.
Yes.
Let's make Tiny J's country pie. That just sounds dirty as shit.
We're gonna fill your hole with my pie.
J's dirty pie. We're gonna fill your hole with Tiny J's country pie.
Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start getting our vegetables, being our onion and garlic here in the pan. We're gonna start browning up this hamburger as well. So let's go ahead and get this burner kicked on. So we're gonna go ahead and add our onion here to our pan. Kick this up. I've got to get used to your stove here, Sergeant Joe. Alright guys, so you can see here our onions are starting to get that a little bit translucent, some browning to them. You might also notice, I forgot to tell you, we need to add a little salt and pepper to our veg.
Always season your veg, people.
Yeah. Anytime you're doing a casserole or a one-pot meal, you always start with season at the beginning and just keep building. Okay? So as these are starting to get that breakdown, it's time to add a little bit of that garlic to the pan. So I'm just going to take a little bit and put it on in there, and we're going to go ahead and get that incorporated in. Now guys, you don't have to put garlic in here. I am just a garlic fan.
That's what's cool about Tiny J's country pie. You can basically put anything in there you want.
So we don't want these onions to be fully cooked before we add this meat. So we're getting about a halfway point. This is where we want to get the meat in there because we don't want to lose the onion fully, right?
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and get this hamburger in here. By the way, you got some great looking hamburger here.
This is fresh, local. We bought this a quarter of a cow.
So since we've added this meat in here now, just like we did with the veg, we got to add a little bit more salt and pepper.
Build those layers of flavor, everybody.
So our hamburger's starting to get browned up. You can see our onions are nice and translucent, starting to get brown too.
That looks good just by itself.
Yeah. Now one thing I want you guys to note, I was complimenting this hamburger. Look, it's hardly got any fat coming off of it. Like usually I typically have to strain.
That really just has enough fat in it that you want to leave it in there because of the flavor.
Yeah, so I'm not even going to strain this off because there's just good flavor in there. So we're going to turn the heat down just a little bit because we're not cooking at this point. And what we're going to add in here now is some cream of mushroom soup because we want to make more of a gravy base. And we're also going to add some of that canned corn in there because what goes better with hamburger and onions and potatoes than some corn. And so we'll get this gravy, and you guys can see it. It didn't look like at first when I started stirring this that there was going to be enough in there, but the more you let it thin out, it's going to be more than enough.
That looks good.
Okay.
I'm just imagining that under those delicious mashed potatoes.
So we're going to add in some of this corn. Now I like corn, so I don't mind going a little heavy on the corn. Now while we're finishing up here, one of the other things I'm going to do is go ahead and set your oven to 400 degrees.
We're going to preheat to 400.
Alright guys, so now it's time to start building this pie. But guys, you should always taste your filling for a final taste test before you move on to the next step. So why don't you do the honors, tell me if it needs any more salt and pepper there.
Okay.
Because that corn doesn't have any seasoning in it, so I haven't tasted it since I incorporated it in.
I think the salt is good. I think a little more black pepper.
A little more black pepper?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright guys, so
delicious.
Building country pie, it's pretty simple. We're going to go ahead and take our ingredients here, and we're going to start layering this in at the base. So come back to that. I want to spread this around a little bit. And guys, you'll see I'm pushing down because we want to make this our base. Now, you may have noticed I didn't grease the pan. There's so much fat in that cream of mushroom soup, it's not going to stick.
Unnecessary.
It's unnecessary. Now guys, make sure you spread that around nice and evenly so that when you put it in the oven, it's going to have a consistent cook on it too. All right.
Now let's throw some world-class mashed potatoes right on the top of this.
Yes. So we're going to take your fantastic mashed potatoes that we had here. We're going to go ahead and plop those on in there. So we're going to get this all pinched down. We've got our oven preheating right now. And you can see I just keep working it onto the edges. And you might ask, hello Tiny J, where's the cheese you showed us? You don't ever want to put cheese on something like this right off the start, or you're going to burn the hell out of it. So we're going to get this thing put in the oven once our oven's preheated, and then we will get it pulled out and let you guys see.
How long are we going to bake it?
Oh, good point. So we've got the oven, I think I said at 400 degrees. We're going to bake this for about 20 to 30 minutes. We'll set a 20-minute timer.
Right,
we'll
everything's cooked, so we really don't need to be baking the crap out of it, right?
Correct, yeah, we're just reheating everything and making it all meld together. All right, guys, it's been 20 minutes. Time to pull this thing out. Oh, yeah. Oh, my glasses, they're so steamy. Oh, yeah, we're starting to get some brown on the edge. That's going to be fantastic.
All right, Tiny J, what's next?
All right, guys, so we got this out. So, two things make any dish better. One is bacon. What do you think, Sergeant Joe? Bacon?
Agreed.
Agreed. We could put bacon in this, but we didn't. The other one, cheese. And you know how much I like just my plain Jane sliced cheese. I live on that poor man style, all right?
And you had to dig through my cabinets and see what I had.
Yeah. So hey guys, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some cheese on top of this, and we're gonna put it right back in the oven and get that melted down in there.
And just, you know, brown it up a little bit, make it look a little sexy.
Yeah. So we got some cheese on top of there. It's just going to melt down when we get it back in the oven. So we're going to pop this back in the oven for about another 5 to 10 minutes and get it melted down, and then we're going to see a finished product. All right, show-offs. We've got our cheese melted down. It's starting to brown. What do you think of that, Sergeant Chow?
You know, it's crazy because we did this episode on mashed potatoes, and it was just like a kind of an offhanded comment to Tiny J, like, what could you make with these mashed potatoes? And then boom, look at that.
Yeah, challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. That looks pretty damn good, man.
Good.
Let's plate some of it up. And so I guess that's how we played it, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's a casserole. It's going to be ugly to a degree.
I mean, I think it looks delicious and beautiful.
All right, guys. So we've plated up our Tiny J's country pie.
Moment of truth.
Yeah, we put a little rosemary and thyme seasoning.
Yeah, rosemary and thyme, yeah.
All right. And that really smells fantastic.
It really does smell good, doesn't it?
Well, let's try it out. Let's see what I came up with here and if we're happy with it.
Are we gonna kill our, oh man, we're gonna kill our mouths.
Oh, I know.
Are you sure about this? We're gonna kill our mouths. I can already feel my mouth being dyed. Tiny J, why did you put this in your mouth? This looks like murder on a fork.
It's because it is. What do you think?
Delicious. You know, once again, the American cheese slices, right? I mean,
It's the salt content in those.
everything is delicious in this mix. Don't get me wrong, like, your meat concoction is delicious, the mashed potatoes are delicious, but the sliced American cheese just does something to just kind of take it to that next level.
Yep. Hey, so show off.
Mouth murderer.
Show offs. Don't sleep on the American sliced cheese or any kind of sliced cheese. It does. It has its place for different things.
No, it really does. Man, that's delicious. Well, I have to say, I issued the challenge. Tiny J accepted the challenge. He wins.
Yep.
Tiny J is the victor in this challenge. He literally rooted through my cabinets and made something delicious with those mashed potatoes.
Yep. All right, guys. So that's the Chow Hall with Tiny J and Sergeant Show, and we just filled your hole.
We're Oscar Mike.